Do you think that beauty gets better with age or harder?
It does definitely make you feel better about yourself. I think it helps your skin, it energizes you. So they do come hand in hand, health, beauty, and also nutrition.
God, no wonder you look so good. You early Clinique adopters these were trailblazing. If you could go back and give your 30-year-old self some advice, what would the advice be? What would you say to yourself?
You have to have an inner peace. That is almost the heart of everything.
Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story. And I'm here for it. I'm Kelly Saynor. Are you ready for some barefaced chat? So my guest today is someone who knows the power of skin, not just from a treatment chair, but from a life lived around beauty. Karen Thompson is 60 and a co-director, and frankly glowing. She spent years working both in front of and behind the scenes of the beauty world, including her time at Clinique, which has been skin conscious for long before it came Instagram cool. She's also one of my real life friends. I've known her for over 20 years. Can you believe it? Her daughter now has treatments with me too. So this conversation feels full circle in the best way. So Karen, welcome to Barefaced Chat.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much for all the things you just said.
No problem. How does that make you feel?
Well, yeah, I feel like you're talking about someone else almost. It's really strange. But yeah, I feel very complimented, and it's very interesting that all this time has passed by, and I have kind of come full circle almost with my daughter growing up, and me being interested in skin from a very young age.
It resonated with me when Mia came in.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh, Mia was tiny. Hang on, when did that happen?
Yeah.
When did Mia feel like she wanted to have treatments? So today I want to talk about a few themes. One is aging gracefully, which you have done effortlessly. Is that a word? Effortlessly.
Yeah.
Effortlessly. I want to talk about being skin conscious, pre-Instagram era, because that's where you and I sit. You know, I still find Instagram a minefield and very difficult. The family connection, are we allowed to say that other members of the family have tinkered?
Maybe. If they have, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. And beauty behind the scenes. So one thing I wanted to start with asking you about skin, given how long we've known one another, and our connection here, is that you've always taken care of your skin. So I've got some notes and I just want to go through some of these and see if we can really delve deep. Before it was trendy and before it was cool, like, you have taken care of your skin forever.
Yes.
What got you first interested in that?
So I think I was around about 12, and I was looking through teen magazines, as you did back then. And I was interested in products for your skin. There was stuff like Nivea, Astral, those kind of products. My skin felt quite dry and I was just using soap and water.
Oh my gosh.
So it felt, like I needed something. And so I decided with pocket money to go off and invest in some Nivea.
Yeah.
Not sure what I was really doing with it. I was just putting it on my skin.
I love that.
And just, feeling the difference
With your
between
pocket
soap
money.
and water
Yeah.
and something that was a little bit richer.
Doing something.
Yeah. It just felt good to do that at the time. And I also thought it was probably cool as well.
Yeah, I love that. I think I remember the first time that I thought I was like a young professional, because I remember thinking, okay, I can afford to go into Kendall's and buy dramatically different.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, well, back then
that was like the benchmark for me, that I had made it into the skincare world with the best and the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forget Body Shop, forget like Woolies.
Yeah, that was a little bit bit more upmarket and something that you definitely wanted to be part of.
That was my aspirational skin goal.
Yeah.
I've been buying products in magazines.
Yeah, I mean, there was that much advertising as well at the time when Clinique, say 30 odd years ago, there was some amazing advertising in magazines, and I think it drew you to the counter.
So true.
And then, that's where it all started.
But you started with Nivea. That's really interesting. And I still say to people today in Clinique that Nivea and Pond's and Astral are the best products.
They're still good products.
Really good.
Yeah, they've probably changed a little bit, ingredients-wise, but they are still good products.
They're good products because they're simple.
Yes.
There's very few ingredients in the products.
Yeah. And sometimes that's the best way.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that is the best way.
100%. I'm constantly saying to my patients, strip it back. I'll keep saying that. That'll become a real narrative theme for everything that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I say strip it back, go back to basics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, Joanna Lumley, Astral Queen, she's always championed that.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's really interesting. So because you've worked behind the beauty, in front and behind the beauty industry, do you think it changes how we see patients, how your relationship with patients here? Tell me about when you first started modelling and the pressures to look good.
Back then, they always said to us, wear very little makeup. So maybe it was just a trend at the time, don't wear too much makeup, be natural. So there was two different things going on. If you worked in Manchester as a model, you were working in advertising.
Right.
And that was almost the polar opposite. Put lots of makeup on and always have your hair done. But if you were doing different work, say in London, it was very stripped back, the look, back in the earlier 80s. It was natural. If you had freckles, show your freckles, don't hide them, and just, look as natural as you can.
Wow.
But they always emphasised, look after your skin. And I think at the time, we all went to maybe somewhere like Marks and Spencer that were doing a cleanser, toner and moisturiser, which was affordable to us back then. And so that almost that 3-step process started.
That's where it started, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started there. So that was late teens. I was about 18 at the time, something like that.
Who did you model for?
So I used to model for Rupert Hayes in the beginning, and then later on, it was only ever part-time, by the way. It was never like a full-time job. It was more of just a part-time thing going on.
You can see why. You are stunning.
Well, yeah, I just got into it by accident, really. I was working in a hairdresser's, but the hairdressers had an agency. And so one day they asked me to do some headshots for the hair. So it was just to do with hair at the time. And then that progressed on. And then they asked me if I'd like to be part of the agency. So it all started there, and I was quite shocked actually at the time. I had no confidence whatsoever.
Really?
I felt like, for me, it was maybe too much too soon. I never felt very confident about it. So after a couple of years, I took a step back, and that's when I was always interested in exercise and working out. It was everything to me. It was something that I loved as a hobby. So I got into that industry then. So I was into the fitness industry, and I was in that for quite a long time. But I went back to modelling in my early 20s, joined another agency, and I had a bit more confidence then.
Yeah.
So again, it's just another process.
A really interesting transition that you've made actually between beauty, looking good, feeling good, and fitness. I think that's not something that we instantly think about, because we instantly think that to look, we need to fix this.
Yes.
We forget the body and actually how much better we can feel mentally and what that makes us feel like when we look in the mirror.
It's all holistic. My approach is holistic. And because I've been in different industries, I've realised from working in the health and fitness industry, it's really important how you feel. And even if you're just walking in the morning every day or doing something that you love, it doesn't have to be a hard workout or anything like that, or running a marathon. It could just be dancing.
Yeah.
It could be anything. It does definitely make you feel better about yourself. I think it helps your skin. It energizes you. So they do come hand in hand. Health, beauty, and also nutrition. That's another biggie. You are what you eat almost.
Really interesting, because I think lots of people still don't make that connection, that body, mind and soul connection. And I think that from a clinic perspective, and something that I always do with my patients, is really look at the holistic person. You've said that word already, and that really resonates with me, because it's so important that I do look at them at all levels.
Yes.
And make sure that the decisions that they're making aren't just based on quick fixes or right nows. You know, I want to understand their whys, what they're doing in the background. Is it for now? Is it for long term?
Yes.
And what are you doing on the inside? Because no matter what you do on the outside, if you're not happy on the inside, or if you do not love yourself, or whatever it might be, that power of negative self-talk, or that things like exercise can help that, especially with hormones at play and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, I think as time goes by, and you know you're maturing and you're changing and you're learning more, learning about yourself as well, you realise that it's not just one process. It's many processes that make you feel better and radiate outwards towards other people.
So true. Well, the hormone oxytocin is released when somebody smiles at you. Yeah. And it's not, one of the smiling cues isn't just, it has to radiate to your eyes in order for the other person to have that rush of oxy.
Yes.
Which I think is so interesting. So when we're like inhibiting the lines and it doesn't reach right up to the eyes, we're stopping that connection.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and so we have to find it in other ways. So like finding it with exercise or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
To get that rush, those endorphins, that high that makes you feel good from inside out.
Absolutely.
But a lot of patients don't always make that connection. I want to talk a bit more now about how your relationship with aging has evolved over time, because you look amazing. You look younger than you are, without a shadow of a doubt. And you've never gone over the top. You've always been really respectful of your face and how to enhance it without looking like over the top.
Yeah, I think, again, over time, you have to find a peace with yourself for your age. Sometimes it's not easy, but you know, you have to tell yourself, well, I am a certain age and I want to look as well as I can for my age without looking ridiculous. You know, I don't want to look over the top. I am the way I am, and all I can do is enhance what I've got. And so that's what I strive to do. And I do think the most important thing, as well as having treatments, is actually your skincare. It's everything. Because having good looking skin is really, really important. And it does go hand in hand with treatment, as you well know. 100%. So I think, you know, I just try and do what I can in a natural way.
Do you remember New Skin?
Yeah.
New Skin? That was one of the early things, right?
Yeah.
That we were both doing to like do something at home. The home market's is blown up.
Yeah.
But we were doing that 20 years ago.
Yeah. And I think it probably all started around about then, when you think, and before Instagram and all those other social media platforms. And these days there's so much, isn't there? You only need to go and delve in to one of the social media platforms to see all those different products, all those different brands. It's mind-blowing, really.
Minefield, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know how consumers do it these days.
I don't either.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
The noise is unreal.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
It's more and more. Yeah.
So do you think the perception of people getting treatments around 60 is changing?
It's hard to say. There's people who have been maybe quietly having treatments since they were quite a bit younger.
Yeah.
And then they've progressed on, new things have come out and they've thought, yes, that's for me. I'd like to try that. But then there's also, as you know from the clinic, there's other people who've come along and never really delved into having certain treatments. And maybe it's just for the skin, maybe microneedling or a peel to improve the texture and the look of the skin. So it's hard to say really, because there's so many different treatments and certain people want certain things. Some people just want to improve the look of the skin. Yeah. Some people want an overall or a more involved treatment that will, maybe eliminate something that they're not quite happy with, or maybe just tone something down a little bit. So it's hard to say really. Yeah. I think it's a mixture.
Well, there's been a massive decline in fillers.
Yeah.
We have seen a rapid decline in filler treatments being done.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
I mean, the UK industry, the aesthetics industry is worth about, the global industry is worth 11.4 billion and set to grow to 13 billion globally. We've seen a rapid decline in dermal fillers because people are opting for more natural looking treatments. Like you said, they're looking to respect their own body's systems, like the way that the cells turn over with chemical peels. I mean, anybody that would come through those doors would hear the words chemical peel at some point on their journey.
Definitely.
Especially with me there.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting that I think that it's the current value of the UK. Actually, the UK market makes about 3.5 billion.
That's amazing, isn't
it?
That is amazing. Yeah, and I'm not surprised actually you tell me that, because things are evolving, as we know, all the time. There's red light therapy, there's RF, microdermabrasion, all kinds of stuff that doesn't involve fillers are coming along and maybe taking over.
They're very good for a very specific job.
Yes.
And I'm glad now that practitioners and patients are cottoning on to the fact that we can use them I've been saying it for years. They need to be used very specifically. Yes. But when that's the only tool you've been given or trained with, it's very difficult to see outside of that box.
Absolutely.
So, I think that having done treatments for years, being able to know I can actually use them when they're needed is really important.
Yes.
Clinique was really iconic, talking of skincare then again. Do you think that brands today have got the same credibility as brands like Clinique had back then?
It's hard to say whether there's one particular brand. I think Clinique was amazing for its era.
Yeah.
It came out in the late 60s. But I went to work for Clinique in the mid-90s, and we've talked about this before. Turnaround cream had come out, and that was a real game changer. It was a night cream that had salicylic acid in it. So it was a skin cell turnover cream.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. So we all had the training on it and we all were given some to try. So we'd go off excited to try it that evening. And then the next day we'd be like full of breakouts. But it was an amazing product for that era. So that was quite revolutionary at the time. It's hard to say really though. Now there's so much and, there are certain probably products and companies that have trends, when maybe they bring something new and exciting out. But I don't know whether, because there's so much of it, whether there's one or two that stand out from the crowd.
I still think that given the fact we are still brand led as a worldwide, humans, brand is something that still means a lot to us because it's safe, it's reliable. We know that there's heritage behind it. And I think that where brands are concerned, for me, there's still brands. Maybe it's my age. Maybe it's because I'm still that easily led.
I think we're all led by advertising. I think it's so powerful.
Yeah, it's so powerful. I'm like, I know what I'm getting at McDonald's, you know. I know what I'm going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not getting any beaks. I'm not getting any feet.
Yeah.
I'm getting a decent chicken.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they say. That's what they tell us anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that things like brands like L'Oreal and brands like, you know, the real like heritage brands.
Yes.
Have still like Head and Shoulders for hair, L'Oreal, you know, you still find you're a bit like, oh, when there's a new brand that might come out in Boots,
yes,
would you dare to say, I'm going to Soap and Glory, Bioma, you know, I don't know this, Babyliss, like years ago, we only had a few brands to pick from.
Exactly.
Would you go, I know them, I've heard of them, they're great, or would you be like, well, I'm going to stick to what I know?
I think if someone had said to me, I've tried that product and it's amazing, I might try it.
Yeah.
It'd probably be a case of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd still stick to what I knew most of the time.
Yes.
And a lot of those brands like L'Oreal, we know from back in the day in the clinic, we've used a certain brand of L'Oreal and found it's simple and effective and reliable.
Yeah.
And I still use some of those products.
Yeah, I mean, L'Oreal's as an example is actually a really good one because they've got some clinical backing behind them. They've really dermatologically have got lots
of... A bit like Clinique.
A bit like Clinique, yeah. They're a bit of a different brand really, aren't they? Because they've got that backing which makes them credible. Yeah. And they've now got like a professional range, like I say, which we've used ourselves, which is great and it works.
Absolutely.
So, and it's a really good price point.
Yes, it is. I think that's important as well. I think people are looking for something where you see a result, but it's at a certain price point that's affordable.
100%.
Because you're buying all kinds of products, you know, your moisturisers, your cleansers, your toners, your serums, your masks, your peels. You know, where does it, you know, you've not got an endless pot sometimes.
I have always said in Clinic as well, good practitioners cherry pick.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be brand loyal all the time.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I use different products. I use a lot of your products.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously, which give amazing results.
Oh, amazing.
But I do use other products as well.
Yeah, how dare you? What do you mean?
Sorry, I had to confess.
Okay, of course.
But yeah, you just find what works for you. Yeah. And I've got a system that I think at the moment works for me. And it will shift eventually, as it has done many times over many decades.
You are so savvy. This is what I want for my patients. You know, a lot of them are savvy, but you've proved that because you've worked both behind and in front, and you are knowledgeable, but also you've taken the time to find out. And the fact that you now can titrate what you do. Okay, today I'm going to use this. I know when my skin does this, I'm going to do that. I know when my skin does that, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Like that's the holy grail of what any practitioner wants for their patients as well.
Yeah, I think trial and error sometimes. And not just that, your skin's quite unpredictable sometimes. You know that I've had my skin problems.
Yeah.
And I've said to you, why?
Yes.
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
But, you know, eventually it comes back round and it's all fine again.
Yeah.
You try things and if it works, you stick with it.
Yes.
And I just try to work with what works for me.
Yes.
And stick with it.
Yeah.
I've got a routine.
Yeah.
I stick with it and hopefully it just keeps working.
That old saying, baby, nobody likes change. Nobody likes change. The minute we step out, like when things change, we're like, oh my God, we go, wow, wow.
Yeah. We all like being in our comfort zone in a way.
Do.
You know, and it's a time thing as well for a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people are right, I've got to get to work. I know what I'm doing. I've got a certain time to do it in. I haven't got time to go and find something else or try something else. So I think a lot of it is just convenience for people.
Absolutely right.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's so true.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. So your daughter comes to us now too. Does it feel empowering that she does?
Yeah, I mean, you know, she has been aware of skincare for quite a long time, and she's had some skin concerns herself as time's gone by from being a teenager. Skin's amazing now.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But most people go through something with the skin from being a teenager. So she had obviously wanted advice on her skin and how she could improve the look of her skin, and, to get some really quality products. So that's when she came to see you and get some advice. And she's very happy with her skin, and it does look glowing. It does look amazing. So yes, it's all good.
I love that. I love that she's done that and wanted to address those things, really. And it was interesting that
it's just caring, isn't it?
Yeah, that the influence that you've had as well, the positive influence.
Yeah, she does actually care about what she eats as well, and she exercises. So I think it was something I'm doing must be right.
Absolutely.
I'm not brainwashing her or anything.
Look at you.
Just doing.
Normally we say, like, look at your parents. Look at the way that they've aged. I mean, that's the route that you'll go down, right? I mean, it's maybe not the right thing to say, but we have to look at our history.
Yes.
That's what we do when we see a GP. That's what we do when we go anywhere.
Yes.
We look at what's happened before us and the legacy that's been there. And we want to know how we're going to age. And look what she's looking at.
Yes, I think maybe that age now, that era, my daughter's age, maybe they are more savvy as well, and not all, but a lot are addressing the skin and the health and what they're putting in the bodies. It's a way of life, and being happy in themselves. It's very psychological, and I think that's what's different. I think when I was younger, I didn't ever think about psychology. I didn't think about really the way I was feeling. I was just doing all the time, busy doing. But I don't believe it's really like that anymore. I think younger people do address the way they feel, which is a good thing.
Completely agree.
And that's, that's just something that's evolved and changed over time.
Thank the Lord.
Yes.
Right?
It's
Thank
a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that your beauty, from what you've said there, I think it's a really interesting question, actually, and it really pivots what I'm going to say now. That beauty gets better with age or harder?
Harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously everyone's aging, and that's hard to take. And you've really got to get your head around it, and you have got to be happy in yourself to radiate any kind of confidence and just feel good about yourself. It gets harder, but you just have to deal with it in the best way you can.
Yeah.
And enjoy your life, because that's what life's about, right?
Well, you said before, which is so nice to hear, that you have to have a peace with
Yes,
yourself.
you do. You have to have an inner peace. That is almost the heart of everything, because without that, nothing else is going to work, really. It'll radiate out.
Yeah.
So that's the key, I think.
That is the key, but I think that's really interesting, because I don't think a lot of people do have that inner calm, that inner sense of just be.
Yes. It's something that you really have to think about and want. And if you've got the time and the notion to do it, then anyone can do it.
I agree.
It's just, realising it sometimes.
Completely
and sometimes
agree.
when you're caught up in your life, and there's so many stresses going on with people's lives, it's hard sometimes just to focus.
It is hard to focus. And that's the thing with that lives are so busy now.
Yes.
Having time to focus.
Yeah.
We just aren't giving ourselves enough time.
That's it.
And if you take the time,
yeah,
then the radiation will be there. You'll see it.
Yeah.
And that, like, in a stillness.
Yes, absolutely. It's just, something
will age you slower, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I think it's right. I think it's that. It always comes back to what you eat as well. I really believe that if you're eating, a varied and a decent diet, and you're maybe cooking yourself from scratch, if you've got time, but eating the best way you can, it makes a massive difference to your skin. you're almost feeding your skin.
I mean, this is, thank you. Continue, because this is something that we talk about again in Clinique, with patients. I want diet is huge.
It is huge.
Because there's so many stressors, aggressors, things that are happening to us.
There is.
Whether we are 18 or 80.
Yeah. There's all the external aggressors, and actually going back to Clinique, that's what we learnt when we were doing our training. And so a customer had come to the counter and we'd, ask them a series of questions, and a lot of determining what they needed for their skincare routine was what they did and how outside aggressors affected their skin. This was going back a long time as well.
That's so forward thinking.
Yeah, it was way ahead of its time in a way. How the wind affected your skin, how the sun, the biggest thing for Clinique was the sun.
Of course.
And getting onto that, and SPF, and they always did a full range of SPFs.
Wow.
Which is really interesting.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, because it was devised by dermatologists, so they were very anti-sun, or just be very careful in the sun and make sure you're wearing your SPF. And that was kind of drummed into us.
I love this. Is an education for me. I could sit here forever. Keep going.
Yeah. So, it was a customer would come into the store and then they'd say, I'm interested in some skincare. What do I need? So we'd sit them down and say, well, first of all, I'm just going to ask you a series of questions. Well, it was this, I don't know what to call it. It was like a pretend computer. So we'd start with their eye colour, and so we'd slide across blue eyes. Do you remember?
Yes.
What's your skin colour in?
That's
and so
right.
we'd slide across.
Yeah.
What's your hair colour in?
Yes.
And so it started with that, and then it'd go on to how does the sun affect your skin? How does the wind and the cold and stuff like that? And so then we determine what type of skincare we were going to
God,
give them.
No wonder you look so good. You early Clinique adopters these were trailblazing.
Yeah,
people.
they really were
amazing.
And every time a new product came out, obviously we would go and have the training for it. And they had some pretty cool products back then. Moisture Surge was another one. They still do it. It's a gel-like product, a gel mask that really keeps in the moisture. Well, recently there's been a big hype about keeping moisture in, and people wearing Vaseline.
Yes, yeah.
Well, this product is an amazing product. It keeps the moisture in.
Wow.
And hopefully...
Well, we've done it. You've just done it in a nutshell. We've just said what makes a brand a good brand. Yeah. And it's brands like Clinique that give a shit.
Yeah.
That are bothered.
Yes.
That care about the end result.
Yeah. Getting back to the beginning of what makes your skin the way it is.
Absolutely.
And what you want from your skin, and what you want to address.
Yeah.
We used to get a lot of people with acne rosacea coming in, a lot of middle-aged ladies. So obviously we'd advise with that. And there was always some foundations that were great for that type of skin. So it was really interesting at the time.
Incredible.
Yeah, to be able to help people with real issues.
That's incredible. I love that. I think that's really just depicted everything that we've said.
Yeah.
What makes a brand a good brand?
Yeah.
Why would we choose someone like Clinique? And why they're still around today?
Yeah.
And why actually fast fashion, fast skincare doesn't always make the right sense. Doesn't always mean it's the right way to go. It might, and it will probably most of it be led by people's budgets.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is fine, and that's why young and fashionable and trendy and really brightly coloured brands, winning at the moment. But
there'll always be that. There'll always be fads and things coming and going, from the clinic, where sometimes something new's coming along and you'll try it and see whether it's something you're going to keep and, promote.
Absolutely.
Or just, no, that's not what we want.
Okay, so let me ask you a bit of a question now. So, okay, what treatment or skincare product do you secretly love, right? But you would never admit to loving it. It's like that food that you go, oh, I love a McNugget. I wish I could order the Big Mac.
Oh, well, I think for me personally, the treatments, the many treatments I've had and tried that I always go back to is some filler.
Okay.
I think for me that just makes everything a little bit softer.
Yeah.
And it works so well with all the other things I do, with the, the peel and the red light therapy.
Yeah.
I think red light therapy enhances the treatment. So when you've had the treatment, you're going to get more longevity out of it. If you're using, certain treatments at home, maybe as well as, having facials and that type of thing.
And that's been key for you, hasn't it?
Yes.
You've bolstered that at home. You've really taken the home routine.
Yeah, I thought, how can I take it into my own hands a little bit, as well as obviously still having treatments every so often. And I think if I can do something at home that's like a home maintenance program, then that's going to work for me.
Yeah, but you're unique because we get home and we go, oh, do I need to do that? Do we need to? When did you start doing it? Did you start doing it when you know you've got to like get everything ready for the school bag and you're going out the night before? You're like, oh my God, I need to make the packed lunch. And then do I really want to sit down and put my red light on? No, I don't. Who's doing that? Like, are you doing that because you are so committed? Are you doing that because, you think I have to do this because if I don't do this, you have done both really successfully, but this is the result because you look incredible. So do people really need to go, actually, I need to take my own responsibility here? Because I would love them to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm really bad at saying that I'm doing it. Like if I was, I will go home and if I can dodge it, then
if you can get away with
quick
it,
fix it, then that's what I'm doing.
I think it's come over time. I have been not as good with my skin maybe when I was younger, but I think as you're getting older and you're looking at yourself and you're critiquing yourself a bit more, you think, hang on a minute, I've got to do this routine and get into a good routine. And I am motivated anyway by products. I actually enjoy it and I find it quite therapeutic.
Yeah, nice.
So that's maybe something that not everyone would want or do. But for me, it's different. That's personally what I like to do.
Yeah.
The actual act of doing treatments at home is quite nice.
Yeah.
And again, it's nice for your mind as well.
Yeah, I love that.
So it's a good thing.
You are a well-rounded individual. You've got it all going on. And I like to think I've had my part to play in that.
You definitely have. The education of working here, it's got to be said. I've learned a lot. I knew nothing really about aesthetics and all kinds of treatments that you do. So I've learned a lot. It's been that journey as well over the past 10 years of just learning about all kinds of things that I had no clue about before. So that's helped as well along the way, definitely.
Well,
and it's interesting again. I've enjoyed.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating, really fascinating. Just enjoyed learning and taking on board what there is and new things coming along.
Love that. Karen, you've got an inner stillness that is quite frankly captivating and warming, and you have a very calming energy. Your stuff. It's so nice to hear you talk so broadly, but also specifically about your daily life, what you do, what it means to you. It means a lot to me. If you could go back and give your 30-year-old self some advice about skin. In fact, you have a 30-year-old self and your daughter. Daughters, I should say. But particularly Mia, because she's been becoming and skin conscious.
Yes.
What would the advice be? What would you say to yourself?
If it's to do with skincare, always make sure you wear an SPF and choose products that have SPFs. Maybe if you're choosing a foundation, if you can find one that's right for you, for your skin with an SPF, because I think the sun is one of our biggest enemies to the skin, as far as aging goes. So I think SPF is really, really important.
Well,
yeah, that's what I would say.
And that's you've said enough, because that's my 100% takeaway as well. I have absolutely loved talking to you.
I've loved talking to you too.
It's been effortless, as it always is, between us. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I will.
You look incredible. You are the best human I know. You really are. I've loved it. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real insight for me as well. And
thank you for asking me.
At any time, I'd love to invite you back. Okay. We can explore more of this.
Yes.
I think we could go deeper.
Yeah,
even.
we could.
Because I think it's really interesting that you're talking about your spiritual self as well. That means that resonates with me a lot. I'm doing a lot of that sort of deeper work with me as well.
Yeah.
And especially where skin and aging is concerned. So thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for today's Barefaced chat. Thank you so much for listening. If you've loved this conversation, make sure you follow, rate, and share. It really helps more people find us and join the conversation. I'll be back next week with another honest, unfiltered chat. Because skin isn't just skin. It's your story, and I'm here for it.